Well, congratulations starting your real estate journey. My name is Adam Ashmont. I'm a Hondros College instructor. Some of you might know me from your classes, but I also am the broker and president of Ashmont Realty. And I get this question quite a bit about what are some things, Adam, that I can do to give me a competitive advantage of my competition and stay in this business? Because obviously you're very excited. You spent a ton of money to get to this point. So what are some things that you can do to be successful and beat the odds? Because I'm sorry, guys, 85% statistically per the National Association of Realtors quit their first year. So I don't want you to be that statistic. So stay with me. I'm going to cover 6 things that's going to help you succeed in the real estate business, which I wish I knew when I got started. So stay with me right after this. Well, you've been through a long journey. You've been through probably all your Hondros College classes, and you're ready to take your tests, and you might have already passed your test at this point. So we're going to cover some things that you're going to need to do starting immediately in real estate. These are some things that I've learned the hard way that I'm going to pass on to you. And I can tell you some things I just did effectively. Some of it was just by luck and accident, and other stuff I've learned the hard way. But after a decade in this business, there's certain things that you have to do to be sustainable, because there is a high turnover failure rate in our industry. So we're going to cover some of these things. I'm going to dive a little bit in detail, and some more than others. Some are going to be pretty, basic and explainable. So the first tip that I'm going to give you is come up with a business plan. Now, what is a business plan? You can share this with your broker if you want, but a business plan doesn't have to be something elaborate. You got to look it up online. But a business plan basically means is, the road and what direction you want to take your career. Are you wanting to be a listing agent? Do you want to be a buyer's agent? Do you want to sell commercial? Do you want to do leases? You have to have an idea of what path you're traveling. Because if you don't, you're just throwing darts at everything, chasing money. And I'm a firm believer in being the master of a niche than the jack of all trades, master of none. Okay, so come up with a business plan, because from there, you can kind of reverse engineer. So if you're saying, listen, I'm going to be a listing agent. I'm only going to list houses. I don't want to drive buyers around, which is fine. But then you got to say, okay, I want to be a listing agent. How am I going to go and farm and tackle those listings? Now, we're not going to cover in every single lead generation. That would take hours, but you got to come up with a plan, what your heart, and it could change over time. All right. But you got to come up with some things that your heart is pulling you towards, that you have some interest, because if you enjoy that part of it, you're going to be much more successful in trying to chase down quick money on something that you don't like. And that's why you're in real estate, because you're probably tired of the normal grind of corporate America, or you need something flexible and you feel passionate about it. So number 2, I think this is very, very important, is have a morning ritual. Okay. When you used to work at corporate America, for example, you would get up at a certain time. You would take a shower. You would go take a jog. You go to the gym and work out. You would check your emails. Have a morning ritual. Mornings is where I do all of my work. I go get up in the morning. I bust out all my emails, set the schedule for the day. And then I'm very proactive in the morning. And then as the afternoon, starts happening in the evening, it's more reactive. And that's what I've personally done. Okay. Real estate never sleeps. It's 24/7 sometimes, but you need to have a schedule. No different than if you were working a corporate America job or a retail job or wherever you came from. Okay. 3 is learn about the industry. Okay. And I can't stress this enough. You've spent a ton of time, book work at Hondros, for example, learning about this business. You graduate, and I can't tell you how many agents stop learning. Okay, it never stops. In our industry, statistics and data and the market change all the time, and it could be month to month sometimes. You need to be on top of your market. You got to know, like, how many homes are being sold? Is it a buyer's market, seller's market? What's the appreciation been in a certain area? So you got to be proactive with that. It never stops. I listen to podcast after podcast. I read statistics to the National Association of Realtors and the Ohio Association of Realtors and the Columbus Board of Realtors, because I'm located in Columbus, Ohio. I want that data so I can take that data and present it to my agents, which they should be doing that themselves, right? They have access to the same data as I do, but also that my clients as well. Okay. All right. And I can tell you, nothing will make you look more professional, especially when you're a newbie, when you can regurgitate statistics. Okay. If you can go into a home and talk to buyers or sellers and you can regurgitate statistics about home values to market conditions to buyers or what have you, they're going to look at you and say, this person's smart. This is an expert. Okay. You might not have ever sold a home in your life, but it doesn't matter, because perception is reality in this business. And if you know the data in your market, and, you can do that in the convenience of your own bed. You don't have to get in a car and drive to a library. We have the internet. We have smartphones. There's no excuse, guys, not to be educated. There's a million podcasts. I do a TV stream video on YouTube and Facebook twice a week about market conditions and data. It's called Ashmont Live. You can do that as well, but no one does it because, in all honesty, they're just lazy. Okay, so be proactive. Markets change all the time. Whatever you learned last year is not applicable to this year. I can't stress enough about learning. I'm very passionate about it, obviously. That's why I'm an instructor. All right. Number 4, take advice from successful people. You're going to have a lot of people in your ear during your journey of real estate that's not going to be helpful. And that, unfortunately, could be a spouse. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. Could be an aunt or uncle. Listen, most of them, I'm guessing, are in the business. And most of them probably wish they could have gotten the business. And they probably wish they followed their passions and dreams. That's what you're doing when you joined, this whole adventure and going through Hondros and going with a brokerage and becoming a realtor, is because you are chasing your dreams. It is not easy. Okay. It's not complicated with the right support and systems, but it's not easy. Okay. It's going to take some time. You got to be patient with it. And a lot of people just don't understand that. If you need any help with this, mental or what have you, feel free to reach out to me. Hit me up on Facebook, DM. I'm happy to talk you through that. There's going to be a lot of people, though, in your life that's not going to be helpful. And you know what those people are. Okay. And a lot of it has to do with, financial support, emotional support. Do what you got to do to be patient and work through the process. Okay. Number 5 is be consistent. Okay. And that's going to be piggyback a little bit on your morning ritual. The best thing that I did personally was I came out of banking. All right. I came out of banking, corporate America, and I had a fixed schedule. I had to be at a bank at a certain time, and, you leave at a certain time sometimes. So what I did was I treated it that way too. I got up, believe it or not, I would get up and put on my tie and I would go to the office, right? We don't do that anymore, especially not at Ashmont Realty, but you go to the office, and you sit, you make your calls, you mail letters, emailing people, and you just treated it as a 9-to-5 job. And, again, real estate isn't 9 to 5, but you got to have that consistency. The biggest issue that I see with lackluster agents, especially in their first year, is they start out hot, right? Because we're all excited. And then about 6-8 months in, Christmas comes. Oh, it's the winter. And there's always an excuse why you're not doing the basics. You got to be consistent because you have a large pool of buyers. I could give agents 1 million leads. Okay. But if you're not working those leads daily, someone else is, meaning your competitor, and you're going to lose. Okay. So you got to work and be consistent. Okay. It could be if, as a dad with 4 kids, it could be like, well, on Tuesday afternoons, I'm busy. And that's the great thing with real estate is you can be a little flexible on your time, but you're going to put in the work. And if you don't, you will lose. I promise you that. So be consistent, come up with a schedule. Do not let anyone treat you as this is not a real job. Okay. Just because you don't punch a clock, it is a real job. Okay. And again, only take advice from successful people. Okay. Last but not least, number 6 and most important is find a mentor. Okay. A mentor doesn't have to be necessarily someone in real estate. Okay. It has to be someone who's successful that you would like to be in the future. If it's a realtor that sells $10 million a year, that could be a possible mentor. Some mentors don't want to be mentors, but you can make them. Okay. Meaning, hey, can I just ask you what you're doing? Troll them. Go on Facebook, watch what they're doing, seeing what they're doing every day. Maybe that person's in your office, maybe they're not. Okay. And that's why with Ashmont Realty, we have that mentorship program, which agents, if you sell a home, they get compensated for it. So it gives agents and mentors, it gives, that relationship, that financial relationships that your mentor are be willing to share the trade secrets with you. Okay. Because even though you're at the same brokerage, okay, you can be at the same brokerage, but you're 2 1099 employees, and technically you're competing against each other. But if you have a mentor, like we have our mentor program, every time you sell a house, the mentor gets paid. So they're going to make sure you sell homes because they want compensated. Now, your mentor, again, could be someone outside of real estate. They don't even have to be a realtor. They could be a business person. In business, there's a lot of things that overlap, and there's a lot of good practices that overlap, between one industry and another. Okay. My mentor was not a realtor. They were in real estate, but he was not a realtor. Okay. But he gave me the tools and the best practices to be successful. So I hope this helps. 6 things that I wish I knew when I first started in real estate that I'm passing on to you. And again, my name is Adam Ashba, and I'm an instructor at Hondros College and broker and president of Ashmont Realty. I hope this helps. I'm so excited you started your real estate career. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below. If you want, you can reach out to me on Facebook. You can find me at Adam Ashba Realtor. My phone and information's there. I'm happy to answer any of those questions you might have and help you, support you in this journey. But remember, you're driving the car. I'll keep you on the road, but you got to hit the gas pedal to go forward. So with that being said, welcome to the industry, and we will see you all later.